This is the case of a right message, wrong messenger. Harden, you've always treated it like a business. Always have. In fact, you put the business over winning. And that's why there's a large group of people that dislike James Harden. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Sam Go podcast. My name is Sam Go. If you're new here and the algorithm has brought you to my channel, please subscribe and turn your notification bell on so you get some more of this content. Hey, yo, today we're going to talk about James Harden. Now, somebody sent me this clip. I was minding my business. Yahoo know I'm a school teacher. I be minding my business, teaching the kids. And someone says, yo, you got to watch this. Listen to what James Harden said. So I watched it really quick. And I'm going to show you this if you haven't seen it. If you ain't seen this yet, look at this, bro. Watch this.
And the whole quote-unquote loyalty thing I think it's overrated. I think this is a business at the end of the day, and it's a lot of money involved and a lot of decisions that has to be made. You know what I mean? So, like if a player isn't producing, or if you don't see him in the future, or front office, some of them have to do like a job and want to keep their job. So they gotta feel like they got to do what's best for to keep their job, and they trade players. Or if a guy isn't happy and he wants to be traded to somewhere else, then it's a problem. It's just so many different dynamics that go into it. This is a business at the end of the day. So like, not even just NBA, but like
It is a
people that have
business
normal
at the end of the
jobs
day.
have those same problems. It's just not magnified. You know what I mean? So for me, it's always about like I don't lose focus of trying to compete for a championship, and then financially, making sure that my family is taken care of. You know what I mean? Because I'm very smart, and I've sacrificed a lot. Financially, like, which I don't get credit. I don't get talked about, but I'm fulfilled and I'm happy with it. But like winning a championship, or at least having a chance to, and then financially getting paid for me being available and playing at the highest level for so long. So to answer your question, this is a business at the end of the day. So I feel like players should ultimately do what's best for them, and front office does what's best for them and their owner and their organization. So it's two sides of a story.
Where'd you go to college?
Nobody wants to hear that right there from you, James. Nobody wants to hear that from you. That's a good message, wrong messenger. Me personally, I tune out when these athletes are saying, I got to do what's best for to put food on the table, or, my family. It's like, or even in this one, he's like, I had a sacrifice. Someone talk about a sacrifice. You went from making 50 million to 42. Thank you, James, for sacrificing so much. These guys sound tone deaf because because we're in a pandemic all over. Like, we're in a financial, tough time, and this is what he's saying. So I think this is the problem with James Harden in this comment. I agree with this. I told my homie, hey, I agree with what James Harden is saying, but I think it's coming from the wrong person. James Harden, let me give you some background to this. James Harden, he's a three-time scoring champ, three-time scoring champ, MVP, 10-time All-Star, seven-time first All-NBA. Shout out to him. And he's right about it being a business. You know how I know? Because he's always treated it like it was a business. Oklahoma City, he's drafted there. He left after the team would not extend his contract. He said, I want to get traded. He forced his trade to Houston Rockets. He did 8.5 years there, won the MVP. And then from there, he forced a trade in 2021. And when they didn't want to give the trade, he reported out of shape, put on a fat suit, said, get me out of here. 2021, they sent him to Brooklyn. It's him, KD, Kyrie. Boy, I thought they were going to run the NBA. He got the big three. Nothing. They didn't win anything. Nothing. That was probably the biggest collapse failure ever of James Harden's career. Of really any superstars coming together, that was a big collapse. What did he do after that year? He forced his way out and asked for a trade to Philadelphia. But before he left, there's a rumor. Shout out to my friend. It's not even a rumor. It's like an unofficial, off-the-record story. Apparently, he and Kyrie had a one-on-one where Kyrie was doing him, just getting him, and he couldn't take it. And they almost fought. They said, but Kyrie was destroying him. Anyway, that's neither here or there. I just want y'all to know that because shout out to the Zoes. People who were there let me know that. That was crazy. Anyways, midseason, he gets traded to Philly. Goes to Philly, leads in assists, and he has some of the worst playoff games again in his career. He goes to China and says Daryl Morey is a liar. At the children's camp, he calls Daryl Morey a liar. He shows up to camp late, and then he forced a trade again, this time to the Clippers. He goes to the Clippers. They're not really doing anything. And then he got traded again. He asked for a trade to Cleveland. And on February 4th, they traded him for Darius Garland and a second-round pick. Over his career, over James Harden's career, he's made $300 to $370 million, right? And NBA salary alone. He made another $400 million through his Adidas partnership sponsorships. And yes, he's taken a couple pay cuts. We want to say that to improve the roster and do all that. So shout out to him for that. So he made almost about $800 million playing in the NBA. Now, when he says this is a business, I'm not going to hold you. I agree with James Harden. This is a business. I've watched players that I love. I've seen people players that I rooted for, right, leave my team, and I've developed animosity. I've hated them because I have allegiance to my team. So I get it. I get what James Harden is saying. I get what he's saying. The NBA is a business. I've watched, teams trade people overnight, middle of the game. They'll get traded. Before a game, after a game, in the morning, at night. They could trade you at any time. And the NFL is even worse. NFL, they could cut your whole thing. They could cut your whole salary. It's not even guaranteed contracts. So I get it. When he says loyalty is overrated, he's kind of right. Owners cut the salaries. Front offices lie. Hey, we're not going to trade you. You're safe with me. Boom. You traded. Look at what they did to Kuminga recently. They said Jonathan Kuminga, they traded him and they badmouthed him on the way out and said he was too greedy at food during food time. This is petty. Front offices are petty. So I get it. Fans switch up too. Fans will burn your whole jersey. They'll burn your jersey. So I get it. But I think this is the case of a right message, wrong messenger. Harden, you've always treated it like a business. You always have. In fact, you put the business over winning. And that's why there's a large group of people that dislike James Harden. And say what you want. People dislike LeBron James a lot. And I get it. He's prima donna. Hey, he wants everything his way. He wants this way. But at the core of LeBron, you at least feel like he's trying to win. He's come small. He's come up small in some moments, but you still feel like LeBron is trying to win. And when you see Harden consistently out of shape, when you see Harden consistently partying, when you see Harden come up small as well, you go, fam, nobody feels bad for you. Nobody feels bad for you. And I don't know if he's asking folks to feel bad for him, but nobody feels bad for him. He's been on Oklahoma. He forced a trade because of contract. He left Houston because he forced a trade. He forced a trade out of Brooklyn, forced a trade out of Philly, called the GM who vouched for him a liar. And he forces his way out of Clippers, and now he's in Cleveland. And guess what? I'm watching highlights. Dang, he looks good out there. But guess what? How long is this going to last? There's this thing called the Harden honeymoon. He comes in, he's passing, he's in shape, he's scoring, And then the playoffs gonna come, and he's gonna have a real small moment, and then he's gonna say, "I can't do it. I'm all about the money again." And you better pay James Harden, or he will do whatever it takes to get out. This isn't business as usual for James Harden. James Harden, it's a pattern with him. It's not business as usual. Loyalty is overrated, sure, but to you, James Harden, and to James Harden fans, it's a pattern. I would hate to have a big moment for my team and see James Harden wearing a jersey, dog. I really would. I hate it. See, if he was a winner, and here's the difference in this: if James Harden was a winner, he could say this. If he won some championships, if if he won a championship, if he had a big Olympic moment, you'd be like, you know what? James is trying, but he has so many small moments, and it's just a bad aura around him. Yeah, the sneakers are fire. I got a pair. I got a pair of Hardens. I like them. Right? Harden got 3 great signature shoes to me. Even some Harden's got great sneakers, but it's like it's the strip clubs, it's the out of shapes, it's the unprofessional, it's the being around the hip hop. It's like, do you really care? And there's other players in the NBA, they don't care. There's Jokic. You look like, he's off season. I'm riding my horse. But he won. And then when he plays, Joker's in the best shape of his life. Harden is always a tweener. So this is the right message. I need all the players, all you players coming up. I got a nephew that's hooping. I tell him, treat all this like a business. Do the NIL. Treat it like a business. You know what I'm saying? Be loyal to you. But above all, as fans, listen to me. Above all, as fans, we want to see you try. We want to see you care. Now, y'all tell me, am I wrong? Am I looking too far into it? Yeah, you know, it's a business. But damn, man, that's why the NBA, the numbers are down. Folks don't want to watch the NBA because we know you don't care. It's all about the money. It's all about just you getting paid. You playing less games. Everything's a foul. It's a bad product. It's a bad product. So that's why people like James Harden these guys are the face of this new NBA style. It's about money. It's about finesse. There's no physicality to it. I'm taking games off. I'm jacking a bunch of threes, and folks don't want to watch that. James Harden is at the center of all this, and you can't convince me otherwise. Y'all tell me in the comments. Don't argue, but tell me, am I wrong? Is James Harden's approach the right way for everybody? I think some people can make it about the business. I don't think everybody should make it about the business. I think, if you play hard and you have, people can tell you're putting effort in, let's do it. But if you're one of these people that it always look like you taking a shortcut, or you just have come up small in so many moments, I don't know what to tell you, my boy. It ain't looking good. Anyways, my name is Samory Go, man. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. God bless you.